This came out 3 weeks ago. The biggest drama in old school RuneScape by Creepus again, obviously, guys. Big fan. Good content creator, not bad. Good size. Let's see what Estonian's saying he gives us today at the start of his video.
Everybody has a secret. I know that. You watching this video right now, I know you have some deep, dark secrets.
Yep.
Maybe you like to dress up as a baby. Maybe you like Britney Spears. I don't blame you.
Britney Spears isn't a secret. Come on. It's classic. That ain't no secret. If you're keeping Britney Spears, your love for Britney Spears a secret, you're just a coward. Embrace that shit. She's a goddamn queen. Have you done Solo CM? Yeah, of course I have.
I know my secret. I love RuneScape drama, especially when it doesn't involve me. I can watch content about RuneScape drama for days. I still remember back in September 2021, we had so much drama that the freaking calendar couldn't even fit everything in.
What have we got here? So the January, that looks like the blowpipe nerf. And then the Din's Bulwark nerf, the nerf on Black D-Hide. Well, 13 got both accounts banned. For streaming. What happened? I think he got banned and then unbanned, right? Because he was, if I remember correctly, 1013. I think he had someone on his account using a cheat client, and he got banned. Then he got unbanned for it because he complained about it on Twitter. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what happened, if I remember correctly. March 5 proof logging into 5 in the game. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of this March is. April. I don't know what that is either. Someone got banned for smithing. Maybe. Someone got shit smithing. May, the theatrics drama and Golden Gnome. Yeah, I remember that. It's classic. June, story mode. Yeah, people got mad at story mode coming out because it ruined their opportunity to make money through Theatre of Blood. Rebel trade of rank 2, number of rank 2 play. Okay, there you go. July, Rendy getting banned for his stuff. Yep, I remember that for his he was in a bit of drama with Jagex over his accounts. Yep, I remember that. August, pedophile got locked up. The guy that made the Sea Shanty 2 in September. 117, Group Iron Man. Level 3 Zuck. Yeah, I remember that shit. Yeah, that was a big month. Duel Arena as well. Where's the drama between Camp Q and Panic? Wasn't that around September as well, I think? Maybe that's what that was.
Those were genuinely good times. Honestly, one of the reasons why I started doing YouTube in the first place is because of drama. If you look at the content I produced in the first 3 months, all juicy stuff. I love that. It's just something about other people suffering that makes me happy.
I'm on board.
Okay, that sounded wrong. You know what I mean. Sorry,
perfect.
That was way too aggressive. Let's tone it down. Unfortunately, in this day and age, drama is not something that happens very often.
You gotta get the Hunliff in the corner. You gotta get him over to the east one more time, man. Come on. You gotta maximize your area in here. Otherwise, you're gonna run out of space with the tornadoes. And tier 1 armor. Come on, man.
Game. But when it does happen, it just makes it so much better. And that's where we land the day. You see, I could talk about how Mod Kieran accidentally liked a booba picture on Twitter on his official Jagex account, and then once it was revealed, quickly deleted that tweet. But that's everyday stuff, man. I like Pooba as much as any other guy, so this isn't revolutionary by any means. By the way, Kieran, the right picture is the correct answer. There's no debating about this, because my god, you could drown a kid between those cheeks. Sorry. Already getting distracted.
My fucking man.
Or we could talk about the most mundane drama happening currently, where people are upset over these things. Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently,
what the hell was this about? People were fucking salty about the fairy rings, eh? Classic. I love that.
Fairy rings are a problem now. Too much glow effect. I saw Jagex Mod Light write like an entire paragraph about why the glow effect on fairy rings is the way it is. God bless all of the J-mods, honestly, we don't deserve them. Because I kid you not, one guy said this: I'm aware I'm not a game developer, and then he goes deeply into ideas that only old school RuneScape game developers can understand. I mean, I can't with you people, man. Sometimes I feel like you're just
you gotta
so
pray
bored
mage against
and you're
that
looking for
as
anything,
well.
even though nothing's there. My
just
point
die
is,
in a
we're living
Callisto.
our best lives right now. I can safely say, without a shadow of a doubt, this is the golden age of old school RuneScape. We
I agree.
have everything. A talented, lovable JMO team who are passionate about the game, good amount of content pouring out. I mean, we're about to get our very first skill in 10 years of this game. Not to mention all of the awesome content creators who honestly put Netflix to shame. Life is perfect. But that's the problem. When everything is perfect, RuneScape players will always find a way to complain about something. I guarantee you, if by some miracle we would only get banger content for the rest of our lives, there will always be that one guy who is like, actually, this is not good and should be changed. And that's what I want to talk about today because
hey, we've seen this clip. I know this video is 3 weeks earlier than the last video we watched, but I've seen this clip before. You were just talking about content creators in RuneScape putting Netflix to shame and you're recycling content on me? Bruh, I am watching you. Secondhand videos, motherfucker.
There is a teeny tiny problem. Official account builds.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know what that is, let me give you a quick 20-second rundown. In RuneScape, you can create your account however you want. The possibilities are endless. Want to do combat with one defense level? Sure. Don't want to do combat at all? Yeah, you can skill defense peers, prayer peers, slayer peers, KR peers, you name it, we have it all. And now Jagex wants to start supporting those niche communities. The problem is the people who created those accounts made them for one reason and one reason only: self-imposed restrictions. They chose.
This is how I feel on the account build system, okay? I voted yes to the account builds originally because I felt at the time, my thought process was, it makes sense to allow... no, I didn't look into what they were actually proposing. I just read the poll and I was like, sure, why not? Because I feel like, as someone who plays Iron Man and someone who enjoys Iron Man, but fuck Iron Man, I think that is an account restriction within itself. And I feel like it would be hypocritical of me to say no to account restrictions when I'm playing a restricted account. So at the time, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, why would an Iron Man be against someone playing a restricted account when that is an account restriction? I didn't look into what they were doing and everything they're doing, but I started listening to other people's comments and thoughts on the situation, and I'm not the sort of person to have a Zerker or a Pure or any sort of a restricted Snowflake account, so I've never really dabbled in that field. But I feel like, yeah, the main part people liked about it was the fact that it was completely in their control. And some people, like, you know, get upset because they accidentally got level 2 defense, and at the end of the day, you can complain to Jagex all you want. It's your fault. You were too ignorant, and you were too irresponsible to keep your defense at 1 XP. So I think the people that seem to be doing account builds, self-imposed account builds, don't want it. So I think it's fair to give them what they want. I don't really care if this comes into the game or not at the end of the day, but I think I'm more pissed at the fact that they have high scores for 1 defense pure high scores and level 3 skiller high scores, and they don't even have group iron high scores. Group iron high scores are still mixed in with normal fucking accounts. The fuck? We already have Iron Man, so feel the need. Why feel the need to vote for another idea of restricted accounts not reaching? Just curious. I just felt like it was at the time, I felt like restricted accounts, Iron Man count as restricted accounts, so why not just have more settings for it? But I guess if people don't want the setting, they want it to be self-imposed, and that's totally fine. The difference with Iron Man and official account builds is you can prove you're 1 defense pure without official account builds. You couldn't do that with an official Iron Man mode. I mean, even with account builds, you could prove that you're a 1 defense pure, right? I guess, but that makes sense. I appreciate the fact that you get new information and then adjust your opinion on matters instead of being headstrong about them. Some creators refuse to budge on their opinions. I think you should always keep an open mind. I still have strong opinions about certain things, but if I'm wrong or if I feel like there's a better idea, I'll happily listen to it. What does Vedion's Hounds count as skeleton slayer tasks, but Venenatus Spartlings don't count as spider tasks? Probably because they've only got 5 health and they're guaranteed 1 hit.
that. And now Jagex wants to make their lives easier by adding prestige to their
And they
builds,
didn't exist
creating
before the
specific
Hellhounds,
high scores for them,
before the
opting
rework.
in and out whenever they want, start new accounts with those specific builds only, and everything in between those. Of course, the community said no. They said, we don't need this. Again, the people who made those accounts chose that route. We don't have to make it easier for them. It was
you gotta walk under Cowfight Queen. If you're gonna sit there and melee the whole face, you gotta stand under him and flinch him. You'll last like 8 kills longer. Come on, man.
Decisive vote. Should official account builds an opt-in system for players to restrict their accounts in various
I'm
ways
okay with this
be
not
added
passing.
into the game? And it failed. Now, this was almost 2 months ago and players thought that was that. It failed, let's just leave it be. Out of all the ideas that we got during Winter Summit, like new bosses, new skills, new minigames, and so on, this idea was the least well received. So players
Well,
said,
you've also got to crush with the Karis Partisan, not stab. It's a cow fight. You want to crush the cow fight, not stab it. So that's probably also why it's taken so fucking long for him to kill it. Like, come on, man. You stab in the terms of massacre, but you crush the cow fights.
let's just leave it. However, a few days ago, Jagex came out with a news post saying this: the future of official account builds. Now, I'm gonna preface this. One of the reasons players disliked the update in the first place was because it was made extremely complicated. Way more than it had to be. New interfaces, million different restrictions, 7 paragraphs of text how prestige works, and a lot more. It just wasn't something players wanted. They talked about it and polled it, players said no. They made a few minor changes, players still said no. And now for the 3rd time, the answer was still no.
So
now,
the
yes,
community
there are
doesn't
multiple
want
wars going
account
on
builds,
right now. The economy is in shambles. Tensions have never been higher in our geopolitical system. But why is my gayer beer not getting the restrictions I want? Can someone explain it to me? I am extremely furious, as you can hear from the tone of my voice. By the way, this is the cosplay of your average Reddit user, just in case I didn't make myself clear enough. So yes, official account builds are a problem. And if you're still wondering, Grievous, what the hell are you talking about? Well, my dear subscriber, let me put it this way. Here are some well-known influencers. We have Kim Kardashian, we have Sesima, we also have God, who I guess is the OG influencer, and God decided to strike a bond.
Wasn't that Jesus? Not God? I'm not a Catholic or anything, but I don't remember God wearing supreme to the church.
The world and say, we don't need this. One Reddit user said this: why you gotta make it so complicated? There's nothing wrong with the restrictions as is. Just do a quality of life to disable specific attack options in the settings so people stop complaining that they leveled up their one defense pure by accident. Everything else is injecting so much complexity into people just playing with those self-imposed restrictions. Another guy said this: I don't feel like this concept deserves the developer time and spot on the 2023 big updates, even if it's done right. It feels like, just like with speedrunning or Fresh Start Worlds, an unpopular...
I feel like if it's failed the polls 3 times, it's time to put it on the shelf. It's time to, you know, say goodbye. That's what he said, right? It failed 3 times and they're still pushing it. I think it's better to just like someone at Jagex must really fucking want this account build thing if that's the case. Because at the end of the day, you do have people that have been doing self-imposed restrictions for a long time, and they also suggested the idea of minus XP lamps for people that want to get XP back. So for those sort of builds, so that's totally fine. I think at the end of the day, if it's been a constant no, just leave it. Someone at Jagex hit level 2 defense. I'm sure someone at Jagex doesn't have a problem just making a new account. Or rolling back an account. They put way more dev time into it than they should have, probably. And I'm assuming they're going to keep doing it. So I think, yeah, that it's better to just not waste the resources at this point. Texas, thank you for the gift. I appreciate that, man. Haven't been chatting here, but lurking and liking. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Concept is turned official in order to fill the content trip. But there's little teeny tiny problem with that. The only difference here is Jagex stated that Fresh Start Worlds and speedrunning took 0 developer time. But this one, according to Jagex themselves, said that exploring all of these options to 700 different restrictions takes a lot of time to develop. And that's what players are
speedrunning takes 0 developer time, but we're now getting I guess they just put in the time limits on the quests. It must not take long, but then why don't you just release more fucking quests? Like all the quests in speedrun then? Not like, look at the speed. Like, to be honest, speedrunning's a bit of a joke. I love the graceful outfit, but you can fuck my ass if you think I'm ever gonna go and do that shit. Look at the speedrun world. 0 people online. 1 person online. 5 people online. What about fresh start worlds? Where can we see fresh start worlds on here at all? Fresh start was F. I don't know if those are in here at all. Maybe not. Speedrunning in total, there's 9, 10, there's 15 people speedrunning right now. You can see fresh start? Whereabouts? I don't see. Wait, is fresh start still a thing, or is that over now? Has it been 6 months? Unless I'm blind. I can't see it on here at least anyway. Still a thing? Okay. Well, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know, man. It shows in the logout screen. Yeah, in the logout screen you can see it. Yeah, I don't think it's 0 developer time, and for good reason.
Worried about using developer time on niche areas when we have extremely big updates coming out this year that should get all the energy. Not to mention we already have loads of account builds and different game modes, and adding multiple new ones could alienate your audience and divide them up even further. Jagex even talked about things like Dialman mode official build, but the fact is you can simply already do that with the RuneLight plugin that 95% of player bases uses anyway. Now, from a content creator's POV, this could be awesome. I can make new exciting content with the updates, but the reality is there's only dozens of us. What about the other million active players that are not affected by this, right? One player even said this: "Is the real reason you're pushing this so hard for the 3rd time because it will mean people make additional accounts, pay for membership on those accounts, and therefore increase your profits?" This idea was...
No, this is something that comes up all the time, man. All the fucking time. People like, oh, fresh start worlds or for more memberships so they can make more money. And they did it with something else, like leagues or something. People were complaining it's so that they can make more money through bonds. I'm all for conspiracy theories, but fuck me. Like, it's the first resort, people just go, the J-mods are trying to get more money. The J-mods, while they're probably listening to the guys upstairs at Jagex on what to do, I don't think Mod Ash's priority is to get as many people onto the fucking membership program as possible. I don't think it really affects the amount of money he gets paid from Jagex. So I don't think priority number 1 is make people create new accounts, to be honest. I don't think that is the priority when it comes to most game development in RuneScape. Now, I think there's a point where they need to maybe consider abandoning ship on projects like this, and if that was their goal, then, well, it's probably not going to be super successful. But people make new accounts all the time at their own leisure. You know, they're making enough money. Do you know how many fucking bots are running in this game? They're making money through bonds. They're making money through membership. I don't think it's I don't think they have a problem maintaining memberships in old school RuneScape to the point that they're gonna completely dismiss what the community thinks 3 times so that they can milk a few more memberships out of people. I think it's such a fucking stupid conspiracy. But there's always one dickhead that starts like going, oh, so they can get more memberships. Fuck off.
Voted against. Stop trying to bring it under another guise. The good news about voting is the poll about official account builds also included many other cool updates, and we never had this many people vote on new content, and all of it passed, which means...
Look at that, 90, 90, 86, 90, then 66, and they're still fucking pushing it.
Said at the beginning, old school RuneScape is absolutely blooming right now.
Exactly, Phoenix.
And that's awesome to see.
If Pure's getting a defense level, they have to make a new account anyways, which means they technically make more money from it. People shifting levels creates a toxic environment for stream sniping without really training an account. What does that mean? What do you mean? If a Pure gains a level, they become tainted. So if Halcommand dies, they just turn into irons. If a Pure gains a level, they become tainted. If a Pure gains a level, they become a berserker. You just go to 45 defense.
Said that too long didn't watch Estes. Out of all the new content that was released, this one seems to be the lowest liked idea because players feel it's time to stop pushing out so many ideas to niche communities while majority of the players are left out. 1 or 2 niche updates per year is fine, but this could be the 3rd one in 4 or 5 months, and players feel it's just there to fill the pockets of upper management with money because you have to make a new account which will feed into subscription cost and to fill the empty spaces for the content this year.
The point is more people would bother to make pures because it's easier, therefore more accounts. I would say that that's probably a fair argument, but I don't think there's a lot of people in the game that actually like want to make pures to begin with. We saw how popular PvP is. PvP is slightly more popular now, but I don't imagine that. Like, I would say maybe 20% of the player base at most would be open to the idea of making a pure. At the end of the day, I don't think that it's a fucking thriving market. For the player base. I own 3 accounts and I buy bonds, so I'm assuming people would spend more money is wrong. Well, bonds are only generated through real life money, so someone paid for those bonds at some point. Like, to be honest, the whole, they want more people having memberships, I think it's a dull argument because people will just buy bonds for gold anyway.
Not to mention things like prestige, where Jagex wants to share the same high scores for prestige and non-prestige users, which is basically like putting Ultimate Iron Man and normal Iron Man into the same high scores. This makes players feel like the idea, firstly, is not thoroughly thought out, and secondly, like I stated before, it takes so long to produce.
The point of a pure, sorry for pausing the video, the point of a pure is to have the highest total level the highest possible combat level in a certain PvP bracket. So that way, you're in a certain PvP bracket where you have a 99 strength, and I think 75 attack usually is common, depending on how high the combat level you want to go. And then you're like level, what, like, is it 70, 80 combat, roughly, somewhere around there? And everyone else that's in the wilderness that isn't PvPing or whatever, they're not as strong as you offensively. They will have some defense levels, which means their strength isn't as high as you, 83ish. Yeah, their strength level is not going to be as high, which means you've got much bigger 1-hit, 2-hit KO potential, and you can just rush cunts and absolutely fuck them. You get destroyed if you end up in a fight too deep in the world because you've got no defense. But the idea of a pure is to absolutely fucking blast kids off the map and send them to Lumbridge. That's all you're doing. You're just going in, you're dumping your GML specs, and you're fucking saying sit. That's it.
Doing when we could focus on much greater things. By the way, what do you think about this? I mean, at the end of the day, almost 67% of players agreed that this should be added. So is this something you would want? Because a lot of people still seem to agree that they do want this to be added despite what Reddit users say. You want to hear my opinion?
Fuck what Reddit says, to be honest.
Okay. Of course you don't. You don't care about my opinion. So I'm gonna end the video with this. All the cool weird bosses that I hunted in this video, I made an entirely different video about that. So if you want to see how I made 400 million GP in 3 days, go check that video out on your screen right now. I love you all very much, and I'll see you in a few days with another video. Okay. Bye.
I think I'm going to give him a like, and I'll link this video for you guys as well. If you guys want to go and show some support, drop a like, leave a nice comment, and subscribe if you haven't already to Kreebus. Big fan of Kreebus and his work. You guys know this. I love what he does, and I think he makes a lot of valid points. I think Jagex, it's time to pull the plug on the account builds. And I think, although I originally was like open to the idea of them because I felt like it was hypocritical, I think at the end of the day, if the community doesn't want it, I think it's just time to stop pushing it. And the more they push it, the more community is going to get annoyed at it. And the more people are just going to say, no, fuck off, leave it alone. And then people are going to be pissed if it's just added anyway. Then what's the point of the polling system? So it's totally okay to cut a project that's half funded or that's halfway through being produced. Just get rid of it at the end of the day. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge. You got a big boy.